Good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. It is September 9th, 2019, and I hope that your Monday is off to a great start. Very interesting request came in yesterday on Sunday, and I think it's something that bears repeating on here on the BOYT. And somebody asked me, and of course the BOYT is the bottom of YouTube, where I've been a proud card-carrying member since 2015. Not that it's something I pull out at cocktail parties and show people. But this person asked me, have you learned any lessons on BOYT that you could pass along to new people? Because the bottom of YouTube is exploding. People find when they come in that it's like flypaper. Okay, they get stuck here because nothing is scripted down here, and it's hard to believe that sometimes this shit, you couldn't even make this shit up. It's the things that happens down here on the BOYT. And therefore it's compelling watching for people, and the community grows and grows and grows, okay? Life lessons from the BOYT. Life lesson number one, especially if you're not a content creator, and certainly if you can as a content creator, try to keep your information confidential. Your name, your address, all of your docs, okay? All right, all of your information. That would be my number one thing. Is nobody's required to go on cam to participate on YouTube. In my channel, they get equal standing with anybody else that comes in. Their viewers, their watchers, they're the real audience of YouTube. They're the ultimate consumers. But you want to be careful no matter what, who you share your information with, and, because you don't want that to ever be weaponized and used against you, as so often happens down here, not just in the BOYT, but in other communities too. So that's number one. Okay, protect your privacy. All right, and be very circumspect where you give your information out. Okay, which leads me to number two. You really have to take trust with a grain of salt here on the BOYT. There's very few people that can keep a confidence on YouTube, period. Okay, in my opinion. You get a juicy piece of gossip, you might file it away for a while, but then inevitably the time might come up, maybe you've had a few drinks, maybe you're mad at somebody, and you let loose with that confidence. You can never, ever rebuild a confidence. The pieces will never quite fit back together again, okay? So understand on the BOYT that the people that can really keep a confidence are few and far between. So again, be careful what you say. Okay, that also goes with things that you may say in private hangouts, messages that you send about things on YouTube. As the general rule of thumb on the bottom of YouTube goes, always assume that when you write a message or you're in a so-called private hangout or whatever, that somebody may probably be recording it, and that your confidentiality, what you say will probably eventually, sad to say, will probably eventually be used against you. So anything that you put out in emails, in comments, or in back hangouts, write it as if the broad public of YouTube is going to see it, and you will never, ever have a problem. Number three, and this is an important one, be very careful who you ally yourself with. Friends are great on YouTube, and there's always a special bond meeting somebody in real life that will always transcend the world of YouTube, okay, in my opinion. But does that mean that you should value people that you'll never meet any differently? Absolutely not. They should be treated the same, in my opinion. But just recognize that friendships change over time. People see you doing certain things, people that are friendly with you, unfriendly with you, and they might change their opinion and cross the other direction. It's just a fact of life. When you have a group of people that are intermingling with each other on a daily basis, it's inevitable that you're going to have outbreaks of problems and things. So just be prepared for the fact that friendships will be changing. Maybe not too often, but that they can change. Number 4, and perhaps this is the most important one, especially if you're a content creator, if you don't give crap, in other words, if you don't stir the pot, if you grow out and create content and things like that, as opposed to getting yourselves involved in the daily drama, if you can avoid doing that and avoid slinging and participating in drama fest and well, shit fest and shit flinging, it's always going to accrue to your benefit here over the long term. I don't care what people say about, I'll use myself as an example. It doesn't matter if people express an opinion, oftentimes very harshly. It's not going to move my needle, because it's going to create something that ramps up the drama and explodes it instead of containing it, okay? And I don't ever want to be the person to do that. And it's not something that's fun for me to do anyway. And over the long term, it's another thing that I think will really accrue to your benefit if you can sort of hang back, avoid those times where there seems to be a pile-on of people against one person or against several people. It's hard to resist that, but people take note of who's with the gang and who's participating in the takedown, and sometimes that stuff can really come back and haunt you. Lastly, it's supposed to be fun down here. If you're not here with a smile on your face or laughing on the daily at all the crazy antics that go on down here, then you're probably taking the BOYT a bit too seriously, okay? This is the thing that I always ask myself. Am I having fun coming on YouTube? And lucky for me, for 7.5 years, the answer has always been yes. All right. Since you asked, tips for surviving the bottom of YouTube, the BOYT. Happy Monday.